right. Welcome everybody. This is Buy High, Sell Low. I am Teddy, and we got a lot to talk about today. It's another Wednesday. We were here last Wednesday. We were here the Wednesday before, and yeah, we have a shitload to talk about. One of the big ones is going to be that SPY daily. You guys can see it up on the screen right now. I've got the 200 MA on there. I have some candlesticks I want to talk about later. I have some volume I want to talk about later, but first we got to get through some other good stuff that I have planned for us. And yeah, I shaved for you guys today. I shaved clean for you guys, and then I was brutally reminded why I keep facial hair. I was like, oh man, it's getting warm outside. I want to be cool. I want to be sleek. I want to be aerodynamic outside in this summertime weather. And then I was reminded that facial hair gives me the illusion that maybe I have a razor sharp jawline in there somewhere. And when I shave it off, there's no cover. There's no cover of my non-razor sharp jawline. So I did it for you guys, and I'm probably never going to do it again now that I'm an adult who can grow facial hair. So anyways, what we got to talk about today is I'm going to start off with topics to cover. We're gonna go with the 3 types of traders. That's gonna be the first thing, and we're gonna talk about what types of traders are successful, what types of traders are unsuccessful, and what the worst type of trader possibly is. There's 3 of them. These come from Mark Douglas. I read these a long time ago in his book, and it's kind of been reinforced over time. I've worked with a lot of beginner traders. I've worked with a lot of intermediate traders, and it's kind of been reinforced. I've seen Mark Douglas's thought process just be completely proven right over time. After that, we're going to talk about my scalping strategy. We're going to talk about all the indicators I use. So we'll talk about 9 EMA. We'll talk about thick zones. We'll talk about VWAP. We will talk about VRVP. Let me pull that up real quick, actually. I've got this on standby for us. So this is going to be what we do when we talk about my scalping strategy. I'm going to have all of my indicators up. I'm going to have all the lines on there, and we're going to talk about them. After that, we're going to talk about my VRVP settings. So I got a DM from one of the homies, one of the people who tunes in, and they said, hey, can you show us your VRVP settings? And I was like, whatever, I got you. We're going to do it. So VRVP settings, it's really not that crazy. I didn't change much other than colors and stuff. We'll do a little market analysis. We'll talk SPY, and then we're going to do a little bit of stocks I like. So I got 3 of them for you guys. I'm gonna tell you what they are right now, and then we'll do analysis later. The first one, FAT, P-H-A-T. Second one, Costco. Third one, SoFi. You guys don't know if I'm bullish or bearish on them, but I'll be telling you guys later. All right, that is the plan for the night. Before we get into the first topic here, drop that like. I'm going to keep doing these as long as they get 1,000 views and 100 likes. So that's kind of the threshold we got to get over. 1,000 views, 100 likes. That's what the last ones have been doing. The last 3, I think, have gotten 1,000 views and 100 likes. Keep doing those numbers. I'll keep hopping on here every single Wednesday. All right, I just want to say hi to everybody. I see Bethany in here. I see Chris. I see Jason. I see Disco. I see Professor Girth, which is a crazy name, but I like it. I see Gustavo. I see Nick. I see Chicago. I see Luna. I see Giddle. I see Zach. I see Mercedes. Big Red. Thank you all for being here. This is gonna be a fun time. And like I said earlier, I'm gonna talk a little bit about what Mark Douglas taught me about the 3 types of traders, and just starting off, the 3 that he mentions in his book, which I read this 6 years ago, maybe? I can't remember exactly how long ago, but it's been a while. The 3 that he mentions are consistent winners. The smallest portion of traders, consistent winners. Then we have it's larger than the consistent winners, but it's still a pretty small group of consistent losers. Because not many people can consistently lose over and over and over and over and over. Which we'll talk about why that happens. But not many traders can do that. And then you have your largest group. You have your huge group. Boom and bust traders, guys. There's probably a lot of you in here. Boom or bust traders. You're in here to try to learn how to not be a boom or bust trader. You're trying to figure out how to get into that consistent winning. Consistent winning. I just said consistent winning. Consistent winning. You want to be a winner. You want to be consistent, but you're boom or bust. And that's okay. That's a step that a lot of people go through. That's a phase that most traders go through. So what's the difference between the consistently profitable, the consistently unprofitable, and the boom or the bust? So the consistently profitable, just an overarching, view of it. They understand how the market works. They understand all of the tricks that the market has. Not all of them. They're not going to understand everything, but they understand to a good degree the tricks the market has. They understand their own issues when it comes to the markets. They understand their own weaknesses, and they know how to not let those impact their trading. That's just an overarching summary. Our small group of consistently losing traders, their execution is consistently bad. If you're consistently losing, you probably have a system to some degree. You might not even know you have a system, but you're making decisions based on a similar system over and over and over and over and over. And that system is consistently bad. That system is consistently not working for you. It could be decisions being made based on a bias. Maybe you're one of the people who is constantly calling for a stock market crash in your brain. Everything makes sense that the economy is about to die. You're constantly taking trades based on that. You're going to constantly get fucked, for the lack of a better term. Maybe you're constantly taking trades based on FOMO. You see these breakouts. Every single morning you see a breakout, and you're just taking these breakouts because I want to get in this. I want to ride this crazy day. Most of the time, trading based on FOMO, gonna get you fucked, for the lack of a better term again. Maybe your only focus is to get rich. Maybe you're constantly just looking at the money. That's, again, something that could make you consistently unprofitable. Maybe you're over trading. Maybe every day you get up you get up 2, 3 trades, green trades in a row, and you just can't get away from the desk. You just can't get away from the desk. You dig yourself into a hole in the afternoon. You completely screw over all of the work you put in throughout the morning. That's a way to be consistently unprofitable. And for my little fish analogy, because every single stream has to have a fish analogy now, those types of traders are biting all the hooks in the water. So every hook that gets dropped near them, every hook covered in a worm, every hook with a little bait on them, every single lure, they're biting them because they're just running around like a chicken with their head cut off. Those are the fish that get caught day 1. Those are the fish that get caught day 2. Those are the fish that never make their way back into the water because they get caught so many times they can't even survive. And our last group, the boom or the bust traders. Your guys' risk management is probably the core issue here. You have some skills, they're present. If you can make boom trades, you have some skills to identify setups. You have some skills to be able to say, this is a good chart. This is a good candle. I like this. And then it works out. You have a base. You have some sort of structure to your trading. Your discipline, though, usually is not there. And I'm just talking based on kind of my experience with traders individually. I see a lot of this on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. I see traders, awesome week, awesome month. They're on top of the world. Boom, their risk management and their discipline completely cost them all of that. And a lot of that's going to come with emotional swings as well. So you're going to have those boom trades. You're going to have those bust trades. And your emotions are just going to be completely up and down. Your emotions are going to be, this is it. This is the time that my life is going to get changed. 2 weeks later, I think I need to quit. 2 weeks after that, I'm so fucking back. 2 weeks after that, I need to quit again. I need to quit again. Those are some common things we see from boom or bust traders. And the biggest thing, this is a direct quote from Mark Douglas. The market mirrors what is inside of you. If you are trading like this, your P&L is likely going to be like this. If you're trading consistent system, no valleys, no peaks emotionally, the market is likely going to mirror that. Your trading is likely going to mirror that. And that's going to be the first big hurdle for a lot of the traders who are, number one, consistently losing, or number two, boom or bust. Getting yourself under control. Figuring out how to keep yourself from those emotional highs and those emotional lows during trading. Is it sizing down? Is it planning every trade before you enter a stop loss, a take profit, your entry level? All of the individual parameters that could get you to exit that trade. Do you need to have all of that mapped out before so you can control your emotions during the trade? Because the market is going to mirror what is going on inside of you. These boomer bust, back to my little fish analogy. These boomer bust traders, they know how to catch a minnow here or there. They know how to tell if it's a worm that's living on the bottom of the pond or if it's a worm on the top of a hook. They know how to do that. But they get real hungry sometimes. And sometimes they just give it the old I don't care. Screw it. This looks like a good meal. I'ma hop on, take a big chomp out of this one. And that screws them over. That screws them over. We're robust traders. You don't need to, if you're getting real hungry, have some discipline. Have some discipline. If you're the fish who's, they're dangling it right there, have some discipline. It's going to go a long way for you. I have some keys written down here. I do want to answer a question I see in the chat, though. This will be recorded. This will stay up so you guys can watch this later. And we will have a special announcement right after I finish up this whole 3 types of traders section. There's going to be a special announcement for you guys. It's going to have to do with some of you guys getting some for free. So don't all pile on, but there's going to be a little giveaway going on here for everyone who watches this, just to show my appreciation that you guys are here. I know it's a Wednesday night. It's, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It can get a little dicey if you're going to show up, if you're going to watch it later, but we're going to do it. So I'm going to tell you the instructions to enter the giveaway in this, stream, or if you're watching this recorded. And then next week, I will announce winners. And if you're watching then, you're going to DM me and get your prize. But again, guys, 1,000 views, 1,000 likes. That's the goal here. So hit that thumbs up and make sure you tune in every single week. But the keys to joining the group of Consistently Profitable. So we talked about it's a very small group. Mark Douglas says 10% of traders. I think possibly less. I think somewhere around 5% of traders, in my opinion, are consistently profitable. A few just basic keys to getting there. Number 1 is going to be a strong system. You can start anywhere with this. You can start with, I'm only going to trade SPY. I'm only going to trade large caps that are trending. You can start anywhere with this. And then you need to get into, what are my best setups? So, am I a trader who wants to day trade at the open? Do I want to trade the opening range? Or am I the type of trader who wants to wait until midday? Or am I a swing trader? And then you need to determine, what are my entry levels? What's my risk on all of those? How long can I hold these for? Those are all questions you need to be able to answer. I can answer those snap of the fingers. If someone were to rattle those off to me, I know the answer to every single one of them. And it's not even a question because I've done it so many times. I don't even have to think about it. Just bam, out of my, what's my risk management on an ES trade? Probably right around 3 to 5 points. Didn't you have to think about it? On a swing, it's going to be between 7 and 12% every single time. Almost every single time. 99% of the time. What's my first sale on all of my swings? Right around 10%. And then after that, I'm going based on technical levels. Those are the types of questions you need to be able to answer. What are my best setups? When it comes to day trading, my best setups are the 9 EMA. You need to know your percentages. That's the beginning. We'll have a whole other conversation about that. One of these streams will be about creating a system. We'll do that. One of these little beginning parts of a stream will be how to create a system, because that's so important, guys. Creating a system is basically the foundation that profitability is built on. So that's the first one. The second one, that's where the psychology comes in. And that's sticking to the damn system. If you make a system, there's no point in it existing if you're not going to stick to it. If you're not going to stick to it and have the discipline to actually trade that system. There is no point in me having my, 7 to 12% stop loss system for swing trades if I'm going to move the damn thing. If I'm going to move it. If I move it, the system doesn't exist anymore. So you have to have discipline and stick to the system. Last one here. Understanding yourself. I'm going to say that again. You have to understand yourself. You have to understand what days you don't trade well. This isn't like another job where it's like, oh, you need to show up every day and clock in the morning. No, this is the type of job that if you show up on a day where you're not at least 85% there, you are going to get dunked on. You're going to hit your max stop loss and you might make a dumb decision. You need to understand your own ticks as well. You need to understand what gets you going emotionally. Is it being too heavy in a trade? Is it seeing something go without you? Is it seeing an old trade that you've stopped out of go? Because if you understand all of those things, you're not going to allow them to impact you. That's one thing I see a lot. I see a lot of beginner traders really upset by, oh man, I had this trade. I sold for, I don't know, maybe if they were in options, I sold for like 40% and then it went 300. Okay, did you trade your system? Are you going to be able to repeat that? If the answer is yes, then who the fuck cares? If you traded a system, you had a stop loss, you took your profit where you said you were going to, who the fuck cares that it went 300%? Just as easily could have went right back down to even. That's something I see a lot, and that's something that gets emotion into it. Every single time you think that, the next time, that's going to linger in the back of your head. The next trade you take, that's going to linger. Well, last one I sold at 40 and it went 300. What if I just hold this one a little longer? And then it turns into what if I hold this one a little longer? And then a little longer. And then a little longer. And then, oh, fuck, my 40%'s gone. Oh, shit, dude. Oh, man, now I'm down 10%. Oh, now I'm down 20%. Oh, dude, this is coming back, though. I definitely don't want to stop out. You get all emotional. You make bad decisions. And then all of a sudden your 40% is negative 40%. And then you've just screwed yourself because you just got out of your system. All because you were letting the little bug infiltrate your brain. The little bug of, well, last time this ran a ton. This setup ran a ton last time and I sold too early. So, guys, system, sticking to the system, or I guess discipline, having discipline to stick to the system, and understanding yourself. Those are the 3 ways to start. My cat just knocked something. Not sure if you guys heard that. Those are the 3 keys I have to start your path to the profitable group. The biggest one is going to be building that system. The first step, getting the foundation going. I do want to take a step back and talk a little bit more about that boom or bust group, because I'm sure a lot of you guys, I'm sure a ton of you guys belong to the boom or bust group in this. And then after I get through this, we'll get to the little giveaway section. We'll get to the announcement I've got. But boom or bust, I talked a little bit about, your risk management is usually not quite there. And the discipline to stick to your strengths is not really there. But I do want to highlight another part of that as well. Maybe you don't know your strengths. A lot of you guys who are boom or bust traders, you're kind of just flying by the seat of your pants. You're just like, oh, dude, this looks bullish, calls. Or, this looks bearish, dude, let's take some puts. Woo, hoo, 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 on, whatever you're doing. Start to just record what goes well and what goes wrong. Record it first. Start to see patterns. Analyze the recordings. It could just be, I got my sticky notes right. I'm not going to show you guys what's on it because it's a password for some shit. But I got my sticky notes right here. I can keep pulling them off. Boom, there's one. Boom, here's another one. Boom, here's another one. Keep pulling them off. Those are all things I've written down about my own trading patterns. So if you're in that boom or bust kind of, I'm having good days, I'm having good weeks, I'm having good months even, and then I'm having bad days, bad weeks, bad months, record everything. That's going to be the biggest thing. Record everything. I know it's tedious. I know it's probably not what you want to be doing on your weeknights, analyzing what you've recorded about your own trading. I know that's not ideal, but do you want this enough? That's the question you got to ask yourself. If you're in that boom or bust where good days, good weeks, good months, bad days, bad weeks, bad months, up, down, record everything, figure out what you're doing during these, and figure out what you're doing during these. It's that simple. There's no rocket science behind it. And then start implementing more of the things you're doing during this and less of the things you're doing during this. That's going to be the start for you guys. After that, it turns into emotionally what was happening during this. Emotionally, what happens at the peak before things start to go bad. Because a lot of that's going to be euphoria, overconfidence, ego, getting, into yourself where it's, oh man, I haven't been able to lose lately. I'm going to keep taking these trades and then not doing the right things that fit your system, changing things because of your ego, changing things because you're on a hot streak, changing things because you feel good about your own trading. We don't want to change things. We don't want to change things when you're having good times. We don't want to let our mental change. We want to keep that even. We want to keep it like like a river, a nice gradual river. Once we get those waves in there, that's when emotions kick in. That's when craziness happens. So those are the 3 types of traders: consistently profitable, consistently unprofitable, and boom or bust. I will say, if there's anyone here who is consistently unprofitable, you're likely a beginner, very early trader. And I'm not talking like, you've just lost money over time. I'm talking like every day you're losing money, every week you're losing money, haven't had a green week, haven't had a green day. If you're consistently unprofitable just over time, that's a time thing. That's a putting time in and just understanding how to win once in a while. And then you're going to be in the boom or bust section. And then you've kind of moved up a level. Because in my opinion, it goes consistently unprofitable, then boom or bust, then consistently profitable. So if you're in that consistently unprofitable, stay the course, guys. It's really just a time experience thing. All right. It's time for my announcement, aka the little giveaway I got. Let me get some water for this. Okay. I appreciate that, Omar. Omar says he's going to join the Discord. I appreciate that. That's actually what my announcement is about. What I'm going to be doing is a free trial month in my Discord for a few people who are loyal listeners to buy high, sell low. So all you have to do, 3 things. Make sure that you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. So if you're not, click on ThiccTeddy, subscribe. Thumbs up this video, which a lot of you have already done. I appreciate the hell out of that. Thumbs up this video, and then comment anything. It could be, Teddy, your mustache is creeping me out. It could be, that keyboard in the background, play us a song. I saw some people talking about the keyboard. It could be anything. It could be, pick me. It could be, Metallica sucks because of my t-shirt. It could be whatever, guys. And I'm talking after, I don't know, I'm not very good with technology. Can you guys comment on the actual video right now, or can you only type in the chat? If you can only type in the chat, wait until we're done with this and then do your comment. So after I close up the stream here, then do your comment, or come back tomorrow and leave your comment. But as long as you are subscribed to the channel, thumbs up this video, and you leave a comment under this video once the stream is over, you will be entered. Next week, what we're going to be doing is a random name generator. I'll be going through, putting through everyone who comments, everyone who meets all those criteria of subscribed, thumbs up, and commented. And then we will pick, I haven't decided how many, guys. It really just depends, I think, how this goes, how many people we get interested. If, 20 people comment, I'll pick 3 or 5 people. And it'll all be random. I'll just do it on the random generator. But the reason I wanted to do this is because I just want to give you guys kind of the door to checking out my Discord as well. It's an awesome place. $20 a month is basically nothing in this world. The reason there's a paywall is, number one, I think my time is a little bit valuable. And number two, it keeps all the boneheads out. There's a lot of boneheads out there. A lot of crazy trading people who will come in and post like stupidest shit you've ever seen if you have a free Discord. So that's why there's a paywall. And I wanted to give some people a free trial for a month. We'll probably do this every few weeks. Every month or two, I'll do a little free trial month in the Discord. See if you like it. And then we'll move on from there. But yeah, so gonna repeat it one last time. Thumbs up the video, sub to the channel, and then once this video is over, so once this stream is done, leave a comment below. So once it's completely done, boom, cut off, stream done, leave a comment. It can be anything. Like I said, anything. And I think you guys will enjoy the Discord once you get in. And we'll pick winners next week. Just a little something to show my appreciation to you guys for tuning in here and being awesome people and being awesome participants in these streams, because I have a good time on here too. All right, let's see if there's anybody. We'll do some Tesla analysis later. I saw Heaven for Penguin ask that. I do have Tesla on my list to talk about. When is VPA camp? So excited for it. So life is crazy busy for me right now. I'm thinking April. It was initially going to be March, and then I kind of procrastinated. Some shit came up. So I'm thinking April for VPA camp. What else we got on here? Glad your cat is feeling better. Thank you very much. He's feeling so much better. He's just an expensive cat now. I see a lot of, pick me's, a comment. Just remember, guys, do it right after I finish. So right after the stream is done, comment right below. I see CJ Dubs saying, the Discord's worth it. It pays for itself. Hell yeah, CJ Dubs. Discord member. Awesome guy. Thank you for being here. Next thing we got to talk about here, guys. So follow those instructions for the giveaway, and we're going to move on. Next thing we got to talk about, my day trading setup. Let's get over to this other one here. Let me make sure it looks good. Let's make it a little smaller here so you guys can see the whole day, the whole morning. Okay, so this is the SPY 5-minute, and that's going to be the first thing. I always trade on the SPY 5-minute. I usually trade SPY. I trade ES and SPY both. ES futures, SPY calls and puts, options. And what I'm looking at during this 5-minute chart is usually just any of my indicators to give me a setup that I'm about to explain. The first thing I use is the 9 EMA. You guys have probably seen the 9 EMA is something that I tweet about all the fucking time. Like every day there's 2, 3, 4 tweets about the 9 EMA. And what I'm looking for here is a strong volume move to one direction. So you can see today we had some decent volume early in the day on this rejection. And then we broke this one day low and we moved lower down. What I'm looking for is for price to retrace to that 9 EMA and then return to the trend. So here, 9 EMA, price is below 9 EMA, trending pretty strong. We retrace to the 9 EMA, we return lower. Retrace to the 9 EMA, we go lower. Boom, again. Boom, again. Boom, this one kind of breaks through, but not a ton. A little breakthrough and then lower. That's what I'm looking for with the 9 EMA. I'm looking to trade trends. I'm looking to find a strong trend early in the morning and ride the 9 EMA. Just a little volume thing I want to talk about here. I want the moves in the trend to be high volume, and I want the pullbacks or the retracements to the 9 EMA to be lower volume. So good example down here. We see some high volume, increasing volume on these last few sell-off candles, and then we see a lower volume pullback to the 9 EMA. Same thing here. Decent volume, declining volume into the 9. Some of these are a little wonky volume-wise down here, but for the most part, we want to see high volume on the trend, low volume on the pullback to the 9. The second big indicator I use is my thick zones. This is an indicator that I had a buddy, Biff, shout out Biff. I always shout him out when I'm talking about thick zones. He coded this for me. He wrote the script. I don't know anything about that stuff. He did it for me. I gave him what I wanted. So I told him how I find my zones, how big I wanted them, what I wanted them to look like, and he wrote the script for me. What thick zones are is they're just a 1-day high, 1-day low, 5-day high, and 5-day low. So here we have the upper master. What that tells us is that is the 1-day high and the 5-day high. I want you guys to look at the top on SPY today. What was the top? Right in the upper master. We can zoom in on this a little bit. This is a prime example of why thick zones are one of my very few day trading indicators. Right here. Upper wick, upper master zone, sent it lower. Same thing down here. 1-day low thick zone here. What do? We break it, we retest it, we go lower. We go lower. Why do these work? Because they are previous areas of support and resistance. So, you can see that this was yesterday's low. So that's going to be an area that bulls and bears have defended. Right there. Yesterday's low. Here it is on today's chart. Boom. Got below it, retested it, sent it lower. It's one of my favorite indicators. Thick zones. I created it, so it should be one of my favorite indicators. The other main one I'm using here is VRVP, which we'll talk about the settings here in a minute. VRVP is volume profile, aka volume by price. So instead of volume by time, which is down here, we have 10 a.m., how much volume? 10:05, how much volume? 10:10, how much volume? We have it by price. So how much volume at $572? How much volume at $574? How much volume at $575? It's going to tell us all of those things. It's going to tell us where there's the most interest from buyers and sellers. And the way I use this, I'm actually doing a series right now on Twitter about how to use volume profile. But these shelves I'm using as key levels. The area between, we typically see price move pretty quickly through. So when price touches a high volume area, it's likely to bounce, reject, or just use it as a key level. When it's touching a low volume area, it's likely to continue in the trend that it was before. And I want to show you guys a little something that I did today that actually helped me out with the trade that I took this morning. And that was I zoomed out on VRVP. So I gave it like the previous, 4 or 5 days, however long this is. And it showed me this massive, massive shelf right above 574. You guys can see it right here. That's called VPOC. It's point of control. And what that is it's basically just the most significant area on your volume profile. The highest interest of buyers and sellers is in that price. And so I marked this on my chart, 574. I even sent a little into the Discord this morning before open. I said 574 is going to be my line in the sand because you can see pre-market price was above 574. And then we opened, we went lower, we broke 574, which is where that huge volume shelf was. We came up, we retested it, and I ended up taking a short trade on that retest of that area that we had, the 1-day low, the volume shelf that I saw from before the day started, and the 9 EMA. So we had all those things in one place. Kind of a pretty beautiful trade setup for kind of my system, which is 9 EMA, thick zones, in volume profile. The other thing I really use on every single trade, and a lot of people will say they use it on every single trade and don't actually, is volume at the bottom. Just OG volume. Volume profile is, flashy, fun. Woo, volume profile. Awesome. We love volume profile. But OG volume is always going to be my bread and butter. It's always going to be a little bit higher on my list of priority than volume profile. And that's because it tells us what candles are important. So the last piece of my puzzle, my day trading setup puzzle, is volume price analysis, VPA. The camp I'm going to be doing, we'll talk a ton about it. There'll be an entire 90-minute class about it, but it tells you what candles are important. So, this candle right here, high volume down here, you can see it. That's an important candle. We had some earlier in the day, this one right here, that's about 10 o'clock Eastern time, and it was a rejection of the 9 EMA. That's a high volume candle. That is an important candle. We had one right here, which was red with a little bit of a lower wick. That's an important candle. All of these are important candles with high volume. It tells us which candles to give more weight to than others and which ones don't deserve as much of our attention. So that's the last piece of my day trading puzzle, is the volume side of things. I do have VWAP on here, but I'm not going to touch on VWAP very much. I don't use VWAP a ton. I keep it on there. I sometimes use it, and if it's a hot week, if I'm seeing VWAP work out a lot over a week, a few weeks, then I will use it. But for the most part, I just keep VWAP on there as kind of a sentiment tracker. Price is above VWAP. Typically, we're seeing a bullish trend. Price is below. Typically, we're seeing a bearish trend. That's basically the only reason I keep VWAP up. See, we have a couple questions in here. I'm going to answer them. I see Fernando asked, are you charting stocks toward the end? Yes, I am. I'm going to be doing some SPY, QQQ, Tesla analysis, and then I have 3 that I picked for you guys this week. Any particular reason you continue to trade options along with futures? I kind of just like having both. So I've had this options account on Webull forever. I've traded SPY options on there for a lot of years now. And then I started futures last year in 2024. And I don't think I'm ready to give one up, so I just like doing them both. I will say I've kind of put futures above options at this point. I've transitioned to basically liking futures more. And so 100% of my trades are done with futures. And then most of them I get on options as well. But since they're 2 different platforms, it does take some time to, do futures and then go buy options. So sometimes I won't catch the options, but most of them I'm catching both. All right. Ivy says, thanks for these live videos. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Do you consider the pre-market and after-hour candles for your day high and day low? They do not. They don't count as my 1-day high, 1-day low for thick zones, but I do keep an eye on them as well. So I'll know where pre-market low and pre-market high is, but they're not factored into thick zones. What time frame are we looking at? It is the 5-minute. All of my day trading takes place on the 5-minute. I will switch to the 10-minute or the 15-minute for confirmation, but usually I'm on the 5, and usually I stay on the 5 most of the day. Do you recommend Volume Camp even if we're already reading VPA by Anna Cooling? Yes, I do. Number one, Anna and I are a little different traders, so there are going to be some different aspects. I agree with her on a lot of her structural ideas of volume and how she approaches volume kind of from a different perspective than what we've seen in the past. But I do have my points that I disagree with her on. And so during Volume Camp, I will touch on those. I'll explain my thought process. I will explain hers. I'll explain why we're different. Some of it's going to just be an individual level, like I work differently than her and her system. But I definitely recommend both. I definitely recommend you read the book, and I definitely recommend that you come to Volume Camp if you're interested in learning how to use volume. If you're not interested in volume, you don't want to learn about volume, Volume Camp isn't going to be for you. But if you'd like to get on the path to mastering volume from a VPA perspective, then I recommend the book and the camp. All right. I want to talk about my VRVP settings here. So this is, I use VRVP. That's what I've always used for volume profile. So if you're looking for it, TradingView VRVP, you're going to search that and then it's going to pop up here. And let me get the settings. Let me get them kind of centered on the screen here. I like things to look right. You know what I mean? I don't want to have it look ugly and stuff. Here we go. Oh, that's VWAP. Damn it. Okay, here we go. Here's VRVP. So if you're looking to get this up on your chart, all you're going to have to do is type in these 4 letters, VRVP. search that into your indicator search bar. This will pop up. And then I don't think I changed very much. So I think these are pretty close to default, but if you want to screenshot them, I'm going to leave them up for a little bit here. I'm going to leave this input section up for about 10 seconds here. I don't really know much about how all this stuff works, but we had a friend who asked me to go over these during the stream, and I get some questions about these, so I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to see what they are. And if you want yours to look exactly like mine, here you go. So VRVP, we got rows layout, we got number of rows, 68 for rows size, volume up, down, value area volume 100. And we're going to go over to style here. This is, I think, where I did a little bit of my work, where I did the colors. I like how my colors look. I like that colorway, so that's what I basically did. So we have volume profile. I don't have anything in here. Width, 30, placement, right. You could put it on the left if you wanted, which left of my screen is not even showing, but right, up volume, I have this color, down volume, this color, value area up. Feel free to screenshot this, guys. And then if you wanted your high, put it in there. If you want your low, you check that. If you want your POC, so point of control, I call it VPOC. If you want your VPOC, you can put it like that, and then you can change, I want it to be opaque. I want it to be, almost, you can hardly see it. Any of those things. You can make it super thick. You can make it super thin. You could make it teal. You could make it black. You could make it pink. You could make it really thick pink. You could do whatever you want. And then we have developing point of control. So as the point of control changes, so let me move my thing here a little bit. As the point of, let's make this bigger so you guys can see it. Make this massive. As the point of control changes, this will move it for you. I find it easier to just look and say which shelf is the biggest, so I don't use that. But again, if you guys want to screenshot this, go ahead. I don't use that. Developing range, boom. There you go. That's all I've got. And then we got visibility. I didn't do anything to this. So you can screenshot this one if you want. I'll give you a couple seconds here. Grab a drink while this is still up if you're still wanting to screenshot here. I sure hope you guys can't hear me drinking. That would be kind of gross. ASMR, Teddy gulping his Awala. That'd be gross. Okay. Next thing we got to talk about here is my market analysis. I just want to say thank you all for being here again. I know it's a Wednesday. I know that it's after dinner. I know a lot of you guys got kids. I know a lot of you guys got jobs. So it shows something to me that you guys are prioritizing being able to listen to this. It's pretty cool. And yeah, hopefully we can keep rolling these out. Hopefully life doesn't get too hectic. Hopefully people keep showing up and we can just keep doing these. Keep having a little Wednesday hangout session. Once my facial hair comes back, then we'll be rocking and rolling even better. But let's talk about the market. First off, I want to say I'm not so happy about that whole damn auto tariff thing. I bought some calls on GM. Let me show you guys this real quick. Just so you guys know that I can be a bonehead too. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's a perfect trader. I bought some calls on GM and this thing, let me get the labels. Post pre-market label. Oh, it doesn't want to tell us what it is. Okay, anyways, but GM is down to like $48 after hours. So I took a shit trade too. So not everybody's perfect. I'm not a perfect trader by any means. I take a lot of shit trades. But yeah, GM, the auto tariffs absolutely crushed it after hours today. I took some calls and I thought that this was going to price it in here, this bearish move here. I thought we were going to get a bounce off this 200. I thought we were going to get a bounce off this upper trend line. And if it opens the way that it's closed today or after hours right now, it's going to be below both of those things. My setup is going to be snapped. So just wanted to fill you guys in. Sometimes it's good to hear that, people who have been trading for a long time, people who are profitable, dumb trades, make stupid decisions, take losses too. So it's just part of the game, guys. You're not always going to be perfect. You're not always going to be a perfect trader. Let's get back to SPY here. We had a really interesting day, and we got into that gap here. I want you guys to let's zoom in here. We got this gap from Friday to Monday. So Friday, nice buying day, high volume there. We got this gap formed between Friday and Monday because Monday shot up overnight, over the weekend. Pretty decent sized gap, 564 all the way to 570. We got up to this 200 MA, and then today we just got fucking annihilated. You guys saw the 5-minute. I can pull that up real quick. That's the 5-minute. We hardly got above the 9 EMA all day long. So this thing got annihilated. If you're a multiple week listener to buy high, sell low, I'm going to suck my dick for a moment here. You guys know that I called that 550 bottom. I said 550 was where I was going to start buying. It bottomed at 550. Now we're at 575. I'm going to be 100% candid with you guys. I'm still bullish, but I do think we need to revisit this 560 to 550 level. We're at 568 right now. Long term, I'm still feeling good about a 550 buy. Nothing has changed from a 550, 10% from highs. Is Teddy bullish off of 550? I am. But I do think we need just a short-term pullback, refresh this 560 to 550 level. Today kind of showed me that, and also today kind of concerned me with that 200 MA, but I'm not changing my tune because of a little bit of things that I have behind the scenes that I think we're seeing. And I do want to explain that. It has to do with the tariffs. It has to do with Trump. It has to do with what I would consider manipulation. I think we're seeing this market be manipulated. Just going to be 100% with you guys. I think this whole move is manipulation. Am I mad about it? Not really. I mean, you go to the supermarket, things are a little bit cheaper. You're not mad about that. My long-term account, I see SPY, I see VU, I see QQQ, I see Tesla, I see all these things cheaper. Am I mad for the short term? A little bit, but am I mad in the long term? Not really. I think we're seeing a calculated effort, and I've talked about this on buy high, sell low before. I think we're seeing a calculated effort to move price down. We saw Trump coin. Just going to bring that up. Trump knows how to manipulate the market. He knows how to make money using the market. Let's think about this. He also knows how to move the market down, how to buy stocks, and then how to move the market up. Trump knows how to make a phone call. Trump knows how to have buddies who know how to buy when the stock market is down, and then have their buddy Big T start pumping. There's also a lot of people in the government who have that. They know the inside info. They know when tariffs are going to be lifted. They know when the sort of tariff-heavy conversations that Trump has been having are going to cease. So if you're not picking up what I'm saying, I'll just say it completely clearly. I think Trump is using these tariffs and all the things he's been saying, being very heavy-handed with the conversations and the comments he's been making, to forcefully move the market down before he forcefully moves the market up. And this is something we've seen. This is an old trick in the stock market. This is an old trick. If you guys have been around long enough, if you've been around more than a few years, we see the old bad news before good news. Insiders will drop some bad news. Say it's a $100 stock, they'll drop a little bit of bad news just so they can get that $95, $90 dip. And then what do? They drop the good news on its head. And then the thing is 120 by the end of the week. We've seen that for years. Oh, they're going to get, a new partnership. It's a small cap with a new partnership. Guys, let's make sure that we drop this news about losing this deal first. They drop the news about losing the deal. Insiders scoop some. Insiders call their buddy up. Hey, don't tell anybody about this, but buy this stock over here. And then 2 weeks later, their new partnership PR comes out. Whammo bammo! Everybody's rich. I think that's exactly what we're seeing here. And the reason for that is this has been a pretty controlled sell-off, and it's been based on what he's saying. It's been, oh, today he said something about tariffs. Here's a massive red candle. Today he didn't. And here's a green candle. We haven't had any crazy panic days because I don't think the market is panicked. I think the market only reacts to what he has to say when he says it. He knows that. He knows he has the market wrapped around his little finger, and he's going to play that. And what we've seen over the last few weeks is the market is getting a little bit smart with that. The tariff news isn't killing the market quite as much as it was a month ago, a little bit longer ago. And so in my opinion, I'm sticking to 550. 550 is the bullish spot on this. I do think we see a short pullback here, a short term, maybe over a week, 2 weeks, maybe just the next few days. But it's a short term pullback, and I think we're long term bullish on this. I do want to bring up the Tesla chart here as well before we move on. The Tesla chart here, we had a higher low formed on March 18th. We got up to the 200 MA, but I do want to highlight the volume here. We did get this high volume candle on Monday, so basically 3 days ago. And it was the highest volume since earlier in March, where we had this doji candle that marked the bottom. And we also had this high volume sell-off. So what I'm seeing here is our last 3 high volume candles on Tesla. The first one, very bearish, massive, bearish, huge sell-off, crazy downtrend day. The second one, mediocre candle, not very strong either direction. And then the third one, very bullish, strong green body. What does that tell you guys? From a VPA perspective, what does that tell you? It tells you that we're seeing a transition of control. Bears had control, high volume, large body. Then we had neutral, small body, high volume, wicks on both sides, small green close. And then we had high volume, large green body, tons of success from bulls. Take that for what you will. The 200 MA is going to be tough to get through. I still consider this bullish. I'm still bullish on Tesla. I do think we're probably going to see that same short-term pullback. On Tesla, wouldn't surprise me to see 250. We're at 270 right now. See 250, return back, test the 200 again, crush through it, see higher. Let's go back to SPY so I can kind of give you guys my exact thoughts here. Would not be surprised on SPY to see 260, a higher low formed at 260, and then we return up to this 200 MA. The volume today was a little bit higher than the day before, but not significant. But like I said, I do think we still need that short-term pullback. So that's why I'm saying I think 560. Was I saying 2 that whole time? I'm saying 560 is a good spot to bounce off of here, and then come up, retest that 200 again. Okay, I'm going to see if there's anything in the chat. Ambular's here. Ambular's from the Discord. She's an awesome trader. She said, news fatigue is slowly setting in. I would hope he gets whatever he wants before earnings season starts again. I agree. I do think we're seeing that news fatigue of the tariffs. It's only a trick you can pull. It's only a card you can pull so many times. And I think it's kind of getting old. All we have to be nervous about is that if he wants the market to go lower, he can pull a new card. That's my biggest worry here. If he actually wants the market to go lower, he can pull a new card. I don't think he's going to do that, though. I think his ego is going to come into play, and he's going to want to push the thing higher to show that he can. And so I think once this card exhausts itself, which we're starting to see signs of, tweeting tariff isn't killing the market as much anymore. Posting those tariffs, talking about those tariffs isn't killing the market as much as it used to. I think he's going to revert back to the Trump pump. Just my opinion. All right, let's see. Anything else in here? 81 watching, or not 101 watching, 87 likes. Get them likes up, says Gustavo. Yeah, just click the thumbs up. It's part of entering the giveaway we got going on. All right. We're kind of making good time here, guys. We're going to be talking about the 3 stocks that I like. We just went through SPY and Tesla. And the first stock that I like, I mentioned all 3 of them earlier. The first one I like is PHAT. P-H-A-T. P-H-A-T. The reason that I like P-H-A-T is because this thing has been in a higher or a lower high and lower low trend all the way since November, which you guys can see over here. Started on this massive sell-off. Lower highs, lower lows. What did it do a couple weeks ago? It finally broke that trend. This thing is $6.42. It's heavily shorted, which on my other screen I have FinViz pulled up. Let me go see exactly what percent short PHAT is, just so I'm not leading you guys astray here. Get my little screenshot here. Sorry for the momentary pause on my thing there. Here we go. 37% short on PHAT. The last potential short squeeze I gave you guys was Groupon, GRPN. And let's go see how that went. That's kind of been our buy high, sell low best trade so far. This thing, I think I gave it to you and it was like, I can't remember if it was right after this Wednesday. Yeah, it was 14 bucks, 18 bucks now. I'm seeing similar potential out of PHAT here. I'm seeing similar potential. Crazy downtrend, breaking that downtrend, highly shorted. There's going to be a lot of shorts trying to cover. There's going to be a lot of shorts panicking. And there's also going to be a high potential for people to pile on this as they see the setup develop. Second one I got here is Costco. Shout out Badthony. I think he's actually swinging some Costco calls here. But I like it for a number of reasons. The first one being we had a little double bottom here on this daily. It's not a clean one. It's not fantastic. But at about 890, let's get a little black line in there. At about 890, we bottomed once, popped up to the 200, bottomed a second time, popped up above the 200. And let's look at that volume on that second bottom. It was an engulfing candle, first off. It bottomed right at this 890 level, and it had high volume. What does that tell us? What does that tell us, guys? We retested a support, and buyers hit the crap out of it. Buyers flew in. Buyers said, this is our chance. This is the level we want to defend. Let's take it higher. So buyers took it higher. They got above the 200, which is important as well. And what do we have above? Let's look at this. An area that has been cut through multiple times. You guys can see the first move through this area was quick. From about this 930s all the way to $1,500 was a quick bullish move. Then we got down, returned to it, about $1,020. We cut through to 930 in 2-3 days. So we have the potential for a fast, explosive move here on Costco. What does it need to do? Just hold the 200. That's all you got to do here, Costco. You hold the 200. That means you're holding this high in between bottoms, which is technically our neckline on this mini double bottom. If you can do those two things, you're good to go here. I think this is seeing 1,000 quickly. I think this is seeing 1,000 within a week, 2 weeks. I don't see why not. Last one we got here is SoFi. Talk about a beautiful setup here, guys. So SoFi had a bearish setup, which let me get my little curves in here. SoFi had a bearish setup. Let's clone these. Make sure we got 3 of them. It had a head and shoulders. The head and shoulders played out. So we broke the neckline here, which was sitting about $14.50. This thing dropped all the way to below $11. And what did it do? What did it do? It bounced right off the 200. Right off the 200. Right off the 200 MA. Immediately. Didn't even spend more than 10 minutes on the 200 MA. Boom, shot right back up from below $11. It got all the way up to $14. That's a big move. It's a strong move. It was a pretty aggressive move on SoFi. I don't need to see anything else. I saw the aggressive quick move off the 200 MA. I think that this is likely going to head higher. The area I want this to hold is going to be this 1220-ish all the way up to about 1275. Let me get this zone in here. We had a lot of action in this zone. So we had a little wick here, and then we had these 2 candles here, and then we had these 3 candles here. That's our area that I want to see this hold. Come back down. We test that area. That area holds. I think we're seeing 15. And then after 15, I mean, it's like 17 comes. After 15, right to 17. So I do like SoFi. My 3, PHAT, Costco, and then SoFi. Does anybody have any charts that they want me to do a little analysis on before we get out of here? Because tonight was a little bit quicker. It's only 8 o'clock. It's only been an hour. Usually these are, 80, 90 minutes. So we got a little bit of time here. Any charts that anybody wants, you guys can put them in the chat. I'm going to go over it one last time, how to sign up for the giveaway while you guys are putting those in the chat. And then I will go do those charts. And then we'll get the heck out of here. And you guys can enjoy your Wednesday night. All right. So, guys, giveaway, 1 month free for the Discord. So a free month trial, basically. All you got to do, like the video. So do a thumbs up on it. Make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube. If you're not, click on my name, subscribe. And then you're going to, after this video is over, or if you're watching this recorded, you can do it now. Comment below anything. Comment your favorite stock. Comment your favorite movie of all time. Comment Teddy is the most handsome man in the world. Comment anything. Literally anything. And yeah, that'll enter. Once you're done entering, next week you're going to tune in. I'm going to get some random names. Maybe you'll win a free month in the Discord. If you win a free month in the Discord, you'll get access to my live trading, my weekly watch list, my trading journals, the recordings for Swing Trading Camp, Teducation channel, and just talking to me and the gang every single day. All day. I hang out in there all day. I'm always talking in there. So you'll get access to all of that stuff for free for a month. So just do those 3 things because they don't cost you anything. All they are is a few clicks. And yeah, that's the giveaway. And let's get into some of these stocks that people got on here. All right. I'm seeing, take another look at BB. So let's check out BB. I'm just going to be doing some surface level analysis here, guys. I'm not going to be doing anything too crazy. I don't want to be going into, nuts levels here. We're just going to be talking about just some general setups. Okay, so what I'm seeing first off here is this had high volume during this sell-off, and it's had low volume during this pullback. And we sort of had a little bit of a kind of like a consolidation zone. It's almost like a little pennant here. It's not a clean pennant, but it's on its way to a clean pennant. It almost was a clean pennant. And today we broke to the downside. And in my opinion, what that tells me is we're about to see a return of this high volume downtrend. And I would not be surprised to see this 200 MA. 200 MA sitting down here about 315. I don't think this is bullish. I do think this is bearish. So, BB, I am on the bearish side of things. All right. Let's pump these out. I'm going to try to get as many of these as I can. I hope you guys enjoy these little chart sessions here. I hope you guys enjoy just being able to get some charts from an experienced trader, because that's what I'm here to do, is give you guys my analysis and just help you guys out. Root. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. What's VRVP telling me here? I honestly don't have an opinion on this. It looks really messy. This is one of those charts that I probably would not touch with a 10-foot pole. either direction. The way that it gaps up and gaps down really bothers me. I don't like this. I don't like root either direction. I see Baba on here. Let's talk about that. We're going quick mode this time. Okay. I would say you have a pretty clear level here that this needs to hold. It's pretty big, but it's not actually that large in terms of percentage of the stock. If you can hold this, starts at 125 and goes down to about 112. So, you know, right about 10%, this zone. You hold this zone, this is definitely going to be bullish. That's your key level here on Baba. About 113 to 125. You hold that, bullish for sure. I do think this leans bullish, 100%. Okay. Let's keep cruising here. Felicia says Airbnb. Let's talk about Airbnb. What a nasty sell-off. What a nasty topping action up there. Whew. That's pretty gross. What's VRVP telling me here? It's telling me it's stuck below VPOC. So we had this VPOC formed from this consolidation period here. You can see how much time it spent at this price. And we broke below. We're coming up to retest it. I can't be bullish until we get above VPOC and the 200. So I'm going to have to lean bearish on Airbnb. We're stuck below VPOC. We're stuck below the 200. There's going to be a ton of sellers in this area. And so I'm going to be bearish. I just have to be. All right, IBTA. David wants IBTA. Let's crack it. Ibotta. Ooh. Ooh. I see you. David, I see you. Coming in here with a crazy gap play here. I see you. And it's already kind of through this low here. So that's going to be our line in the sand moving forward. Let me get this up here. If we can hold above this black line, which is sitting about $42, let's get VRVP off here. Let's also get 200. We don't need those things on this one. If we can stay above this low, sitting about 42 bucks, so you hold 42 for a day or two, I think we're cruising this gap. And this thing's got upside to 60 bucks. A lot of upside here. Nice shout, David. This is a solid one. So like I said, hold above 42 here. It has upside to 60 bucks. All right. Bathany, my man, says Jazz. Jazz Pharmaceuticals. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. So what we saw here was a prolonged consolidation. This is a very small range, actually. Prolonged consolidation. Strong breakout to the upside. Now we're showing a little bit of a top up here. What's VRVP and the 200 telling us? Yeah, this strong move today doesn't surprise me. You can see it got below this upper volume shelf, and then it basically cruised through this lower, this desert that it had here. In my opinion, I think this is bullish into this area. I think this is bullish once we get down to this, kind of this zone here. So you have this resistance zone, which I think will flip support. And then you have this volume shelf here. You have a ton in this area. And then you have the 200. And we're only talking $12 below price. 10% below price is the 200. Because we're sitting 130. Our volume shelf is sitting about 122. 200 sitting about 118. The middle of this support, aka old resistance, is sitting about 126. I'm going to lean bullish here on Jazz. I'm going to say I like all the support that's below on this. All right, let's cruise. We got Eric asking for John Deere. Old John Deere. I have a John Deere plant probably about 40 minutes away from me. Ooh, I don't know about this one. John Deere is also going to have A lot of scary times with the tariffs as well. This looks like a diamond setup. I'm not sure we see these very often. Not exactly. I'm gonna delete those. It's not exactly what we'd want to see from a diamond setup. This might be another one where I don't really have an opinion on it. It doesn't look good, but it doesn't look bad. You know what I mean? Like it's not really speaking to me. Some charts just don't speak to me. This might be one that I would not even watch because it's not really giving me much. All right, what's your other one, Eric? BSX. Let's see if we can find an edge there. Boston Scientific. Holy uptrend. Holy uptrend. Holy uptrend. Has this thing ever fucking had a rough month? There we go. There we go. From 2004, this thing was rough. And then this thing was like $5 in 2012. And is 100 now. That's crazy. This thing has been gnarly. Oh my goodness. What was this in 2020? $25, $100. I mean, it's not even that crazy of returns, but this chart is crazy. Look at this chart. It's just almost nonstop. Let's see. What do I think of this chart here? We're going to keep it simple, guys. When you're in an uptrend like this, why doubt it? That's all I'm going to go with this one. Trend is your friend. Strong uptrend. Above the 200. It's been holding the 200. I'm not going to doubt it. I'm not going to try to get cute with it. Looks good to me. Strong trend. Ride it like a horse, guys. When you got a strong trend, ride it like a horse. All right, Marvel Technologies. I've seen this name quite a bit lately. And this looks nasty. This looks gross. So what we had going on here was high volume sell-off. You guys can see the volume here. It was on a gap down day, so high volume. But we also had it back here, same thing. And then what we got, I want to kind of highlight back here. So we had a gap down, high volume, red candle. And then what do we get right afterwards? Low volume pullback. I want to highlight that. I'm going to repeat that one more time here. Can you guys even see this? I'm an idiot. My face was covering it. I apologize. So I do have to go over it again anyway. All right, so gap down here. High volume on this gap down. Red candle on the gap down. What follows it right afterwards? A declining volume pullback. So you can see declining, stair-stepping down. Price is pulling back. As soon as we get that higher volume step in after the pullback, we go a lot lower. What do we have here? What is the current setup? High volume, gap down, red candle. What follows it? Low volume, declining volume pullback. And what do we get today? High volume step in. Same setup as here, just looks a little different. I think we're heading lower on this. All right, Professor Girth. You get the award for the best name today, Professor Girth. AVGO, Professor Girth. All right, Professor Girth. I'm going to talk about this with you, Professor Girth. It's a crazy name. It's a good one. All right, so we broke the 200 today. That's not something to bat your eye on, AVGO. Losing the 200, what I would say is give it a day or two. Give it a day or two to see if it actually confirms below the 200. Right now, it just broke initially. We're in the breakout stage. What I would say is watch to see if it stays below for a day or two, or if it comes up, retests, and is not able to get back above the 200. But I'm going to lean bearish. Doing the breakdown phase below the 200, it's already kind of initially getting me that lean, but I'll fully be there if we see one of those two things I talked about. Holding below the yellow line for a few days, or coming up, retesting it, inability to get back above. Mercedes is asking for NVIDIA. So I'm going to hop on NVIDIA here. Let's do it. Okay, so this is a pretty nasty chart as well, but there's one setup on this that I've been watching pretty closely. And that's going to be this kind of this upper trend line from back in 2024. So we have this trend line, trying to get it so that it looks about right, so it's touching as many highs as possible. So we had this upper trend line back in June of 2024 is the first top. The second one, July. Third one, August. Can you guys even, I'm making sure you guys can see this because earlier I was, talking about stuff you couldn't even see. So here are the three tops. Little fourth one, but not a full fourth one. And then back in March, we bounced off of it. So we basically flipped this upper trend line a long time later. Now we got this higher volume sell-off candle. It's below the 200. I would not be surprised to see $100 on this. I've been thinking a lot about NVIDIA because it's such an important name. It's such an important name for retail trading in general. So I wouldn't be surprised though. I mean, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people holding NVIDIA. There's a lot of NVIDIA love around Twitter, around the stock market world. I think we're seeing $13 a downside, and I think we're seeing 100. I'm sorry. I just do. All right, guys. I think that's all we got time for tonight. I want to say one last thank you. I appreciate the hell out of you guys for being here on a Wednesday night. Don't forget to drop that thumbs up. Don't forget to drop your comment after this finishes. So once this stream closes up, make sure that you drop that comment because that'll be what enters you into the giveaway. The thumbs up, the comment, and then the make sure you're subscribed to me. You guys will be locked in then, and then you can get a free month in the Discord. I do want to kind of just say, last thing here, I'm not going to talk to you guys for a week, so I got to kind of give you a little bit of a boost. Just make sure that you guys are being smart out there. I want you guys to use stop losses. I want you guys to try to use a system. I want you guys to, be out there putting your best foot forward. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. On Twitter, you can always hop in my Discord. You can always talk to me there. If you have any questions, you need a boost, you need some rules, but just be smart. Don't be doing dumb shit, guys. Don't be buying high and don't be selling low. Be smarter than that. Don't be the fish that bites the hook and gets caught buying high, selling low. And that's how we're going to end this. Okay. Appreciate you guys. I will see you next